Hey guys, it's BTaylor TV. I haven't done one of these sit down talks in so long, and I was just like, why not get up in the morning, make one of my favorite coffee drinks, and just talk to you guys while y'all get ready for work, or I don't know, it seems like you're talking to one of your friends over coffee. And speaking of friends, that's actually going to be the subject for today. I want to talk about friendship and reality of friendships, because I find myself in a place right now where I really don't have any friends, and I'm like okay with that. Like, I'm always somebody who always had like one friend. And what I find is that I'm really learning what the meaning of friendship really is, and the expectations that I had for friendships are not realistic. And I think a lot of women specifically have an unrealistic expectation for their friendship, which is why a lot of us do fall out with each other over birthday parties and miscommunication, and that one friend that's going through things, you distance yourself from them because they are bringing bad energy to you, and you just don't want to deal with that because you have your own problems going on. So I just kind of want to like address that, and like where we get those expectations of what a friendship is supposed to look like. So for me, I always thought of a friendship like That's So Raven, Chelsea and Raven, how they were just always there for each other. Anytime Raven was going through something, it just seemed like Chelsea was always there. She was always that leaning shoulder that she can lean on in trying times, or whenever she needed a ride or die or somebody to come with her, that she was always there. Like, if you look at a lot of the sitcoms or TV shows or Disney's or any movies and TV shows that we grew up watching, most women had friends, and they always had that one friend that was right there, right with them through the trenches and riding it out with them. So that was always my expectations for a friendship. I wanted like another sister. I had a sister, but she was older and she had her own group of friends. So once I realized that my sister was just like, no, go find your own friends. Like, I'm not about to just hang out with you all day. And for people who do have those type of relationships with their sisters, like, that's amazing. Me and my sister didn't get that relationship until we got older. We did not get along until we became like adults in college, and we were going through a lot of the same things. But I would say that friendship, I've seen people fall out. I fell out with friends. Like, I had friends for 10 years and we just stopped talking, and we've outgrown each other, or we're distanced with each other. And let me just say that that is completely normal. What you see on social media where girls are posting up their friends all the time, they're going out, half of them don't even like each other. Half of them are talking crap about each other. I promise you, if it's a group of girls and it's more than three, two of the three are talking about one of the three. Okay, there's always, anytime I've ever had a group of friends where it was just like more than two, it was always that third person where either you're the oddball out, where you're more cool with one person out of the two of your friends, and they're more cool with that person than you are. Guess who they're talking to when they're mad at you? They're talking about you. Okay, guess what they're talking about? They're talking about you. I've seen it so many times. And I was recently like even in a situation where it was a group of girls and we had to gather for an event to do something, and the way the girls were just like coming to each other's neck and saying little stuff about each other, and I was just sitting back like observing, not saying much, just kind of like, you know what, I don't want to participate in any of this. I'm just gonna sit back and just be like, okay, well, oh well, dang, okay. Like, I'm not gonna participate in that, because I like know how that feels to be in that situation where your two friends are like talking crap about you behind your back, and you can like feel it in your spirit. I've always felt it in my spirit. I felt like that was always like a blessing for me. So if you feel like you're a part of a friend group and you feel like there's just some shady stuff going on and people are talking about you behind your back, best believe to go with your gut. Your gut is your first brain. So go with your gut and how you're feeling. Now, if you're somebody who don't have friends, like, it's not hard for me to make friends, because I call everyone my friend. I don't call everyone my friend, but I used to make the mistake of calling everyone my friend. But when I use friends, I group them differently, right? I group, like, I have a best friend, I have a sister, and then I have like friends. Like, And they're mostly like my associates, people I go out with, people I hang out with from time to time, you know, whenever we can get together. That is how adult friendships are. But I'm realizing that even then, having that best friend, that sister, that can be challenging at times because sisters fight. Okay, and to think that you are going to have a friendship where neither one of you guys are going to get in an argument, neither one of you guys are going to bump heads, that is not realistic. And you need to understand that when you get into it with a friend, that just means that if you keep bumping heads with your friends, that just means that you guys need time apart. That just means that you guys become too codependent. And a lot of women don't want to admit this, but a lot of friendships are based off of trauma bonding. So if you met a friend during a time where you were going through something so detrimental or a bad relationship, and that girl is also going through a bad relationship, you guys tend to trauma bond. And what tends to happen is those relationships do not last, because I was friends with a girl where I was going through whatever I was going through, and she was going through something such as similar as what I was going through. And once we broke free from those situations, we fell out. We fell out over the most simplest thing ever. And I did not want to talk to her anymore. I did not feel a need to talk to her anymore. I felt like I was in a place, in a space of healing, and I didn't want to deal with her toxic ways just as much as she probably didn't want to deal with me being toxic. And because we were no longer in toxic situations, so we started being toxic towards each other instead of going through the healing phase of just secluding yourself and going through your healing phase. Because when you're going through your healing phase, it is good to separate yourself from a lot of your friends, because you'll start to get a lot of your friends kind of telling you their intake and what you should do and how you should act and what you should be doing, when you should be listening to what God is telling you to do. And I think that's why I had to get secluded away and, you know, enjoy my new home. Like, as you guys can see in the background, like, I'm getting everything settled in. I'm still getting my bedroom set up. So once everything is set up, I may or may not do a house tour. As many of you guys know, I did move into a 4-bedroom home, and that's just been my focus. It's just my family and moving into my home and making it a beautiful place and a serene place to stay when I get off of work or when I'm working from home. It's just a beautiful place. So I'm just really getting up and enjoying everything. But let me take a sip of my latte real quick, because I gotta make sure that this latte is good. So going back to the realities of friendship, what I'm finding is that I'm a very codependent person. If I'm not codependent in my relationship, I'm codependent in my friendship. And what I'm realizing is that sometimes we make the mistake of dumping our problems on our friends when we're going through something, and we expect our friends to be there. Like, I expected my friend to be my Chelsea. I expected her to be there, like, as if I was going to be there for them. And one thing that I noticed is that when you're always there for a person, you're that friend. You're probably not going to get a friend that's always there for you, because you're always there for other people. And I feel like I'm always there for other people. I'm always listening to them. I never get tired of listening to their problems. I never blow them off. I never dismiss them, as in, like, I don't intentionally dismiss them as in, like, I don't want to hear about your problems. I may not get the right cues on everything or know when someone's going through anything, but once you are very direct, and that's another thing, expecting your friends to read your mind, because I have friends where they just expected me to know that they were going through something, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm not that friend. Like, I need you to be very direct to me, because I'm very direct. So I don't get cues. I don't get the, oh, it seems like you're just, you know, no, I'm like, what's going on? Because I'm direct. So that's something I probably need to work on, because I'm realizing that everybody is not like me. I am direct. I'm going to let you know when I'm going through things. But other people, other friends, if you see a friend being snappy and being distant and being a certain way, I think what I'm learning is just call them and say, hey, is everything okay? I just want to check on you and make sure everything's okay. Then that's when that person can, like, you know, like, they just needed that. So just kind of like be more aware, because we can all do better in our friendships. Because if you find yourself falling out with your friends are not only the only person that made that mistake. It also is something that you probably contributed. And what I'm realizing is that we all are different personalities, and I can't expect me out of my friendships. So I can't expect somebody to be direct and say, hey, I'm going through this, because that's not how I am. I'm very direct. I'm very like, I'm gonna let you know what I'm going through. I'm not gonna hide it. But at the same time, other people are very different. So you just gotta understand your friendship. You gotta understand when your friend is like going through certain things, and if you can pick up on those cues, and just really like learning that person's love language and friendship language, that definitely helps out as well. But sometimes it's okay to lose friends because there are friends that I've just outgrown, and I have friendships that I have outgrown where a girl is constantly just like, I can't really be myself around. If I feel like I'm always like walking on eggshells, or like one girl, for example, I had to cut her off of 10 years because it's funny how when she would get mad at me, and ladies, we gotta stop doing this. It's funny how she would get mad at me and stop talking to me for months, but like I saw how her man was treating her, and when he would do something so messed up, she would talk to him within a week. And once I realized that, like, man, this person really screws you up, but the one thing that I said something that you didn't like, you stop talking to me until your birthday comes around. And then I realized that that's not my friend. Because if you could forgive a man as quickly, I whistled. If you could forgive a man as quickly as you did, but you couldn't forgive me and give me the same decency, are you really my friend? And I think a lot of women give grace to a lot of men than they do to their own friends. And that's one mistake, ladies, I feel like we really make. But I don't want to make this video too long, but I just want to say that if you are going through a season where you are not really talking to anybody, not really talking to any friends, like, it's okay. I am in a season where I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to really talk to any friends. I just want to concentrate on BTaylor. I just want to concentrate on myself. I want to concentrate on my children, my family, my home. And maybe that's something that you need to do. Maybe that's a sign that you need to pour back into yourself. Because when you find yourself pouring back into other people, and when you're going through things and you find that they're not there for you the way you thought they would be there for you, that is a time for you to kind of like go back into yourself and invest and pour into yourself, and those friendships will come. One thing that I did is I pray for my friends. I pray for my friendships. I pray for meeting new friends. And guess what? God always comes through. And I always end up meeting some girl or some invitation, but you don't have so much expectations right off the bat for friendships. Wait until you build that out. And that's one thing men do is that they don't automatically call somebody so quickly their friend and put all these expectations, unrealistic expectations on their friends. They're like, oh, where you ask a guy like, when the last time you talked to your homeboy? It could be like weeks, but when they talk to each other, it's like they never stop talking for weeks. You know, they pick back up where they left off. And I think if women started operating like that and understanding and being a little bit more empathetic to other situations and what other people are going through, and also stop expecting you out of your friends. Stop expecting your friends to show up as if you would show up for them. It's not no, oh my God, like nobody shows up to me. You do that. You be the best friend that you can be, because that's who you are. If you are pretending, then stop pretending. If that's not the type of friend that you are, then stop pretending, because you can't complain about something that you are. Like, if you are a ride or die type of friend, then be that. But if you understand that if you are with a friend that's not really your friend, and you feeling like, you got to really understand, is she really my friend, or am I expecting me out of her? And if you are wanting somebody that's like you, pray about it. You can receive that type of friend. But even then, you're not going to get somebody that's exactly like you. They may make mistakes, and have grace for your friends. And understand that a lot of our friendships are not going to be, you know, Raven Baxter and Chelsea. It's just not realistic. And if you do find that type of friendship, that's a gem, that's a blessing, and it's hard to come by. So if you do have that type of friend and you guys do have a falling out, just make sure to just give you guys some time, some space, and pray for them, continue to pray for them, and, you know, be the bigger person. Put your ego down and reach out to them. And if they don't respond, reach out to them again. And if they don't respond, you know, give them some more time and reach out to them again. And just, You know, if you feel like it's a time where you finally got to let that person go, then let that person go. But just understand that God will send you more friends. God will send you more people. God will send you a community if you pray for it. But right now, if you find yourself alone, it's because you need to be alone, because you need to get all these other voices out of your head and listen to what God is saying to you, and listen to what your heart is saying and need from you as well. And that's where I feel like I'm in a season at right now. But all right, guys, I don't want to make this video too long and my camera's about to overheat, but I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of this latte, look at the sunset in my backyard, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.